Is the entire ring and boxes at his own speed. So this is a contrast of styles. But Michael Zarafa, it is always entertaining when Liam Wilson is at centre ring.
I'm a huge fan of Wilson. I mean, he's always in hard fights. He's entertaining. I mean, he's patient. He boxes. He's got it all. I mean, you know, I'm excited for what's after this. I think he gets through this. I mean, it's a tough fight in the opponent in front of him because he's, you know, this guy, Liam Wilson's a world title fight for him if he can beat this guy. You know, so I'm excited. I'm excited for this fight.
It is a good matchup. As I mentioned, Gimenez, just looking at his previous fights, he really does move. He uses the whole ring. He's on his bike at times, and he makes you come towards him. So Liam Wilson is going to need to cut off the ring on him and try and pour in that pressure, which we know he possesses. And in the early stages, it is Wilson just inching forward and certainly looking the bigger man in this ring as well. Really has filled out after those couple of fights at lightweight. Wilson now back at super feather and looking huge for the weight against a man nicknamed Pac-Man in Gimenez, who does look calm and composed.
I was about to say, yeah, Gimenez looks nice and relaxed. I mean, they're just filling each other out. It's the first round, but I mean, he just, yeah, super composed. But Wilson, yeah, he looks so big in there.
He looks massive.
He looks huge. And he's using that jab. He's got long arms. I think he's just got to stay relaxed and composed and, you know, pick the shots. Not, you know, every fight's a war with Wilson. I think he needs to go back to his boxing smarts because he's a great fighter.
Yeah, we've seen him do the weight really tough at times as well, Liam Wilson, but he seemed to do it relatively well this time around. Weighing in a couple of kilos, 2.5 kilos less than last time out. But he just looks massive at centre ring here tonight against Gimenez, who is using that lateral movement, and he will do that all night. There's a body shot from Wilson. Gimenez came straight back over the top as well.
That was good countering from Gimenez. He looks good, you know, like he's super calm in there. I mean, if he had the longer arms and the size of Wilson, it'd probably be a little bit different, but you know, he's just looking good. He's just getting that distance, finding that range.
Wilson just presses forward gradually towards him.
Liam, when he jabs, I've noticed, you know, every time he jabs, he pulls back. He barrel narrows that right hand, you know, which can be dangerous if, like Pac-Man just did now, throws that left hook. And he's got to keep that right hand up when he jabs.
So an interesting opening round down there. Wilson just trying to work out what is in front of him. And the tricky Gimenez from Argentina.
How's his speed? So he comes off that movement with the jab to the body and the hook to the head. Open the space with your feet. Or when you're ready, you time him onto that, okay? As he wants that jab to the body, you can send it. But just stay. Yeah, you don't need to do it yet. I'm just saying, when he does throw that jab to the body, you can time that. Yeah, you're good. When you get him to that rope, cut him up a little bit more as the rounds go on. And when we do stop him, just work off that post. You work off that post, it's the right work. You can aim through his chest as well as he's moving left to right. Yeah, good round. Well done.
So this one is all about cutting off the ring for Liam Wilson. Michael Zarafa just explained to our viewers what that is and what you do to cut off the ring on an opponent like Gimenez.
Well, yeah, Gimenez is moving, so, you know, you want to just try to get him in the corners, you know what I mean? So every time he's moving around, you just want to cut it and basically follow him. See there, Liam Wilson kind of let him out there. You want to, as he's moving, you want to put that pressure on roughly around now, as Liam Wilson's doing. But he's moving a lot, this Gimenez, you know, and he's no slouch. You know, he's been in the ring so many times. You know, he's got more wins than losses. And like I said, Liam Wilson's name is a world title. So he's coming here for a huge upset. And there's that left hook I was talking about. That Liam Wilson, when he throws that jab, he pulls back that right hand. And, I mean, if he can catch him on the chin, he might be in trouble.
Okay, so an interesting note there from Michael Zarafa with regards to that little chink perhaps in the armour of Wilson. Let's see if Gimenez has picked up on that. Speaking of left hooks, though, we know about the Wilson left hook. We've seen it against the likes of Jesus Cuadro Joe Noine, and famously, of course, in Arizona against Emmanuel Navarrete, who was given 27 or 28 seconds to get back up and continue in that world title fight in round 4. He sets it up with his right hand as Wilson, often just pouring away with the right hand and then bringing that powerful left hook behind it. And he would love to do that in what would be a true statement victory against a fellow world-ranked fighter here in Gimenez. But at the moment, the Argentinian is using the ring very, very nicely, and Wilson is really having to work to get him in front of him. And he comes forward now, Gimenez. All left hand, and he goes 1 and 2, trying to punch through the guard onto Wilson. Wilson won't mind that, though, him coming towards him and sticking around in front of him for a moment.
100%, he loves that, you know, but again, you know, you need to have a tight defense because this Gimenez is going to come with those big shots. You know what I mean? And
here he goes, Wilson had his little moment there. Gimenez wheeled around to his right to get to safety, but just a better little moment there for Wilson, getting him caught for a moment, Gimenez, and trying to find him to the body. Jabbing is Wilson.
Every time he feints, he lands with that jab. He's got to feint a lot more. You know, Liam Wilson, he's great at counter right hand there, but he needs to feint a lot more. You know, he's just walking forward and just trying to cut the ring off and not landing, not having much success with it. You know, every time he feints, he pops that jab and lands.
Good head movement from the Argentinian. And he comes back strongly too, does Gimenez, with some good shots after avoiding the punches of Liam Wilson. 1, 2, and 3 from Gimenez as well. Growing in confidence, the Argentinian. He tries to hook away, then they exchange jabs, and Wilson scored with one. And he just gives a little nod of the head at the ends of that 3 minutes, does Liam Wilson. But some better stuff, particularly late from Gimenez. Next up, he's back at home. Liam Paro, the former world champion from Mackay. Delighted to be back fighting here in North Queensland. And he'll take on the East LA product, Jonathan Navarro, who fights out of the famous Robert Garcia Boxing Academy in Oxnard, California. Paro on the brink of very big things, but he has an experienced American in front of him tonight.
Seconds out.
And he is the headline act for us on Fox Sports this evening.
Great. Let's go.
Wilson and Gimenez continue the action here. Your co-main event. This is the 3rd round of a 10-rounder. How are you marking Wilson on ability to cut off the ring on Gimenez here, Michael?
I think he could put a lot more pressure. You know, he's letting him out too much, and that's given this, you know, Gimenez the opportunity to just dance around and do what he wants. And you know, like I said, he's getting out with ease. You know, he's not feeling suffocated or any pressure on there. And I think he needs to feint a lot more, Wilson, and land that jab. So if you see, he's missing a lot of his shots. I mean, look, he's letting him out the corners now, and then just letting Gimenez do what he wants.
What about in a scoring sense for the first couple of rounds?
Yeah, look, I think Liam Wilson is up. You know, he's the busier fighter, and he's pushing the pace and controlling the distance and whatnot. But I mean, he's got to be careful, you know, because Gimenez is working him out as well. You know, and there's a few little hiccups that Wilson I can see. You know, like I said with that jab, and he's pulling back the right hand. And when he does lead with that right hand, his left hand's completely down. I mean, I think he's you know, levels above this guy, but again, this guy's coming to take his head off because this is a huge opportunity for him. You know, he beats Wilson. His stocks grow tremendously, and there's that left hook I'm talking about. You see, his right hand's down every time.
Trying to jab to the body, Wilson here. Gimenez just wheeling back and forth and really providing a tricky target for Wilson. And then he attacks, just bursts forward with a feud as Gimenez. Doubling up his jab as well, the Argentinian. And to the body he goes nicely. A left rip to the body from Gimenez. Wilson tries to find him with the right hand. Gimenez was out of trouble.
They're better jabs from Wilson. Good body shot.
Goes to the body and the hands immediately go down from Gimenez.
There's that shot. I told you he got caught with that right hand. In exchange, his hands defensively aren't there. He pulls back, hands are down.
And the hands certainly down for Gimenez as well. He's really trying to bring Wilson in and then move away and counter.
Good shot by Wilson.
That will excite Liam Wilson, seeing those hands so low. He will come forward. He will take the bait, but Gimenez punches nicely to the body again. Right hand over the top from Wilson. Left hook from Wilson. Then Gimenez comes forward with a couple. Wilson tossed out the right hands.
He keeps trying that left hook. Gimenez maybe seeing what we're saying. I still think Wilson's in control though. He's still, on top, pushing the pace, controlling the distance in the ring, but again, I feel like he needs to put that pressure on a little bit more.
You've got to start just inside of him. Start just inside. We don't need to start just inside at the start of the round though, okay? You can start out, work into the round, and when you feel the shots on, then you just go inside of long range and you start to work off your hand and trump, okay? No pullback, so you pull out. That's not it. Jab to the body, jab to the head. That's putting him where you want. And we're going to cut that ring off though as he comes over here. Remember, open that door, hit him with this shot. Open that door, feint. If he goes back this way, hit him with the shot again.
Your body jumps a little bit. You can guess where it's coming from, then bring your big shots in. You're starting to break him down, follow the plan.
July 20 is the date for Sebastian Fundora's fight against our own Tim Tszyu. The second time around, featuring none other than the great Manny Pacquiao, who fights for a world title against Mario Barrios. That QR code will be available to scan through the course of the evening. Do not miss that on July 20, a Sunday here in Australia. Right now, Liam Wilson in round 4 against the very tricky Ayrton Gimenez, world number 14, who moves constantly and has a touch of quality as well. Wilson with some intensity here in round 4.
Liam Wilson's stalking and pressure is getting much better as the rounds go on. I think he's starting to work him out. He just worries me when he jabs with that right hand.
He's just dangling his left hand out as well, trying to set things up. Is
there
Wilson. There's that hook from Gimenez. Wilson covered up nicely to it, but he sees something, no doubt, as Gimenez just sneaks through there as Wilson tried to fire the big right hand. There's a shot from Wilson. Gimenez wheeled around with it. But Wilson is growing in confidence and throwing with a bit more power here in round 4. What's he seen here, Liam Wilson? Why the intensity, do you think, Michael?
I think he just worked out his movement, like he's just running around the ring and he does the same thing, he doesn't change anything up. He'll dance around, he'll go one way and switch back the other, and there it is there, So I think Liam Wilson's figuring that out now, and but he needs to just act on it, So when he gets to the corners, as he's moving around, he needs to put that pressure on, punches and bunches by keeping those hands up like now.
Body shots from Gimenez, but that one is ruled to be around the back from the referee, Phil Austin. Body shot Wilson. Gets a shrug. Oh, there's a shot on the inside from Gimenez, and then Wilson missed with a big one. Was a good punch that started proceedings there from Wilson. Got a shrug. A little bit of a frown from Gimenez. Good shot the inside is Gimenez after Wilson went over the top.
This is where he needs to put the pressure on now. He's got him in the corner, but he lets him out too easy. See, he just walks out.
Trying to counter with the right hand there, Wilson. Gimenez came forward. Good Jab from Wilson, counter shot as well. Left hook got through from Gimenez, who tries to work down low. Over the top is Wilson, and Gimenez straight up the middle again. Bit of action late in the rounds. And here are some of the highlights from round number 4. Michael, what did you see there?
Look, you know, Liam Wilson, I think he's figuring him out, but he just needs to up the pressure. I mean, you know, he's not in any danger or any trouble or anything, but I feel like he's just letting him off too easy. You know, I feel like he's winning the fight though, and he's controlling the rounds. But yeah, I feel like he could get him out there. You know, if you put that pressure on, he's just letting him too freely dance around and just do what he wants.
There was some intensity in the early stages of that 4th round from Wilson. Let's see if he starts round 5 in similar fashion.
There it is. There's a feinting. See, every time he feints, he gets him guessing. And he feints well. And Gimenez keeps falling for him. Look, this is where he's going to put the pressure on now. But he puts the pressure on, but he lets him out.
Got through with a left rip after those punches over the top there, did Wilson.
There's that left hook.
Wilson creeps forward. Gimenez just creeps along to his left here, then throws some punches into the guard of Wilson. Body shot from Gimenez, but it is ruled to be low. Just had a little opportunity there, Gimenez, but couldn't find the target.
He's a slick fighter, man, as he moves well. I mean, he's got great timing.
Here's Wilson in southpaw. The first time we saw that, and he immediately catches himself and goes back the other way. Gave a smile even. He's done a lot of that during his career. And he throws a nice right hand there, which scored on Gimenez, who just puffs the chest up and asks Liam to come again. Interesting moment there with Wilson scoring with the right hand and Gimenez responding. Just loosening up, isn't it? Leaping out with the left hook again, Gimenez. Now he comes forward, works to the body. He tries to do so again. Wilson just happy to move backwards with him.
There's that left hook again. He keeps landing with that left hook.
It was a good shot again, the left hook. And he goes with a 2-1 there, Gimenez, and scores with the jab. Looks very composed and casual, doesn't he? Gimenez.
That's why Wilson needs to cut that movement. That's what's making it a little bit trickier for him, because he's got that movement and he's trying to be slick. If you don't give him that space, he won't be as dangerous.
Wilson pressing in towards him. But Gimenez has forced it back into centre ring here, and then he counters with the right hand. Wilson.
There's that left hook.
A left hook apiece there. Gimenez first, and Wilson came back.
That was a good round. Close.
It was a competitive 3 minutes. This is the Wilson corner.
Okay. Big breath.
Halfway there, mate. Halfway there.
But better when you don't need to throw at the same time as him. That's when you come and unsuck a little bit. It's just not required. Big breaths, suck him in. Just keep pinching him with the up and down shots. You have to cut him off a little bit more though to make him really feel the pressure. Even if you don't throw when he's down.
No, he's seeing your wide shots.
Yeah.
Short and straight.
Yeah. Your wide shots he's seeing on cover. Just keep him nice and sharp, nice and straight, nice and fast. The pull's not on. He's moving, because he's so negative, as he throws, he moves away before you get a pull off. So it's the lead, up,
Let's go, corners.
So detailed advice from Ben Harrington to Liam Wilson.
Okay, box.
As we head out for round number 6 of this 10-rounder, so into the second half of the fight between the world number 4 and 14.
Liam Wilson's got to get that left hook working. He's got a beautiful left hook. Every time he throws it, he lands. That's a counter right hand as well.
Yeah, it was a good right hand from Wilson. He tries to lead with it again. Just turns square on. And then he leads with a left hook, does Wilson. Gimenez immediately puts that right hand up high to protect himself from that signature punch. Defends himself well there, Gimenez, from the right hand of Wilson. Now it's Gimenez coming forward, changing the pattern here a little bit. He scores with a left hook too. Wilson just goes the head, snaps back for a moment. He works to the body, then he shoves at Gimenez. The complexion just changes for a moment. I think it'd be more aesthetically pleasing for the viewer if they did stand there and trade a little bit more, but you can understand the desire to get out of the way of the heavy fire as Wilson does throw a right hand. Gimenez comes back with a left hand. Left hook to lead from Gimenez. And jabbing to the body, and they come together again. They're happy to just tangle, and then they do part ways on their own terms as the crowd starts to surge and call for action here.
He's got to stop his movement. Liam Wilson needs to stop his movement. I feel like that's where he's somewhat landing those shots, you know, because he's allowing Wilson to let him in and out wherever he wants.
Tries to find him to the body there, Wilson, but misses. And he goes again, and it is a right hand from Gimenez after Wilson missed.
Turn.
They just posture to the end of another round. So 6 down now. Let's see how they're feeling in the Liam Wilson corner.
Yeah. Big breath. Okay, so you feel like he's slowing down a little bit now? You want to pick your feet up on him, then get to mid? Yeah, I'm with that. We spoke about that all camp.
As long as I'm winning.
Yeah, you're right, we're good. As we pick our feet up to him, we have our exchange. We can go with, remember, up to 3, but we need to start again. Don't let it just be relentless where you end up fucking blowing out your ass. All right?
Not always a big overhand.
Yeah.
Bang, or the rear.
Because you're finished here. Anyway, as we start to get to him now, we can work off that post a little bit.
Okay, let's go, corners.
So
Come on, Los Vamos.
we approach round 7 here between Wilson and Gimenez. Michael, how are you scoring this one at this stage of the fight? So 6 rounds completed so far.
I've got Liam Wilson up majority of the rounds. You know, there's probably 1 or 2 I probably, could give it to Gimenez just from the movement and activity. But I feel like Liam Wilson's controlling the fight. You know, he's always in the center of the ring, pushing Gimenez on that back foot, and landing the cleaner shots. But it's competitive. You know, even though it's Liam Wilson's winning majority of the rounds, it's a still competitive fight.
Wilson did have a little moment there with a left hook when Gimenez was wheeling around to his left along the ropes. He will continue to search for that meaningful shot, and he goes again with the left hook. Gimenez comes forward just for a moment. Wilson tries to find the body, and he goes with the left hook again. To the body with the right hand now, Wilson. Right hand's a good one from Wilson. Gimenez wore it well and came straight back. Oh, and then he scores well with a leaping left hook, does Gimenez. There's a good right hands earlier in this round, though, from Wilson. Right into the mouth of Gimenez, and you can see him just feeling it as Wilson rips into the body with the left hand. Uppercut is there from Gimenez. More pressure in this 7th round from Wilson.
Wilson's got to try to cut off that movement. I feel like if he can cut off that movement and put the pressure, he'll land, cleanly, and it could potentially stop the fight. There it is now. See, when he closes up the gap, there it is there. He lands beautiful shots. And when Gimenez is on the block running around the joint, he gets to do what he wants.
Wilson jabbing. Gimenez comes forward. Right hand from Wilson's a good one. So a bit more activity here in round number 7. Some opportunities for Wilson. Gimenez does well there with a little left hand. Left hook again. Wilson as Gimenez ducked in towards him. That's better from Gimenez. Good activity. Finishes with an uppercut as well. Better output from the Argentinian late in this 7th round. Liam Wilson, though, with good pressure and some good punch selection earlier in the round.
He's starting to hold his feet a little bit more, so he's starting to land more. Hey, we spoke about it for 8 weeks. This is what's going to happen. He'll hold his feet a little bit more. Now he'll have to get desperate. That's when we can catch him with that shot. Such a fucking negative, cunt. Big breaths.
Yeah.
He's just a negative, as a cat. Now breathe. Have a sip when you're ready. Don't go to the double guard. There's nothing for you there. I can't tell you, mate. When you go to the fucking double guard, you have to. I don't want you to go there, but we spoke all game too. You've got to catch off it and shoot. Big breaths. Another sip.
Let's go. Out.
And it's a very warm welcome to our Fox League audience who are joining us ahead of round number 8 of the co-main event with live boxing coming to you from Cairns. Liam Wilson currently in action against Ayrton Gimenez from Argentina. The main event is Australia's former world champion Liam Paro, who takes on the American Jonathan Navarro. Where we are in this fight, well, we feel that Liam Wilson is certainly ahead, but he's having to do a lot against a slick-moving Argentinian who is really intent on using every single inch of this ring. This is the world number 4 and the world number 14. Wilson is 4th in the world and on the brink of something really big, as is Liam Paro, the North Queenslander, who'll come up next in our main event of the evening. He wants a world title shot after giving up his world title last time out, and he will take on a tough American and Jonathan Navarro. So that's how things are positioned here in Cairns, with Wilson continuing to try and find those big shots. Ben Damon here in commentary alongside former world title challenger Michael Zarafa. How are you scoring what Wilson is doing at this stage of round 8?
Look, I think he's getting the distance. I mean, he's still getting hit with silly shots, though. Like I think he wants to go back to that old style and just punch on, sit in the centre of the ring and fight it out. But he gets his best work when he's on the outside. When he feints, uses that jab and cuts off the ring. I think that's where he gets most successful. Because when you see now, he's sitting there trying to trade with him. It's a heads or tails. It's 50-50.
Well, they were good shots from Gimenez. He scored with a bunch of them as well. The Argentinian punching in a bunch there and doing well. Wilson trying to sit down on his trademark left hook there at times. But Gimenez did find an avenue straight up the middle on Wilson during those exchanges. Wilson, a noted power puncher, and he's trying to do exactly that here in round 8. Left hook gets through again. And he is starting to score with a few. He goes to the body there. There's Wilson. Gimenez drops the hands and just rests in front of him for a moment. Chasing now. Liam Wilson, the Queenslander. And he goes to the body. Gimenez comes back with a left hook of his own. And Gimenez has fought the last moments of each round with some intensity. Wilson gets through with a left hook again. Gimenez comes back with a left hand. Better round that one between Wilson and Gimenez. And we have 2 rounds to play here in our co-main events.
How do you feel physically? You're good? Proper good? Okay. Have a sip.
Who, me?
But hey, you need to stay awake. You need to stay awake, okay? It's not those double guards where it's just the judges can give you some of that shit. You don't need to give them nothing. Just keep looking there. Yeah, just keep making it easy. If you miss, he gets super frustrated, then he has to jump even harder. Your counters, I'm thinking as you're in front of him, most important is just keep control.
And here's some of the highlights of the previous round. It was a good action round. Michael, at this stage of the fight, should there be any concern in the Wilson corner that perhaps one or two of the judges are seeing things different to what they are, that Gimenez is jagging some of these rounds?
I mean, look, I'd hate to be a judge because, look, they are competitive rounds. I mean, I'm a Wilson fan, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but look, I think he's controlling, he's throwing more, landing more, but I mean, yeah, Gimenez is having his moments. I mean, he's catching him with, shots. He's dancing around the ring, and Wilson's not cutting him off and putting on that pressure. So, I mean, I'm just lucky I'm on this side and not judging.
Indeed. Well, still has a couple of rounds.
And he moves so well, Gimenez. Like, he just, 9 rounds in, you'd think, there'd be a little bit of fatigue or something. He's hardly sweating.
Yeah, having watched plenty of his fights in the last couple of weeks, he does this for fun, Gimenez. He can move all night. And 10 rounds is no issue for him, as we are seeing here in round 9. They just tangle it centre ring here. Both China score, and Gimenez with a good jab there. And he scored on the inside too. Wilson was trying to fire that left hook. Crowd really trying to get him going. Body shot from Wilson. Left hook, right hand from Gimenez. He comes forward too with some good shots. That's better from Gimenez. Scored straight up the middle on Liam Wilson, who tries to go with his own big punches.
I think Liam Wilson's losing the fight when he stands there and tries to trade with him. When he's on the outside flicking the jab and trying to cut off the ring, I think this is where he has his best moments. But when he stands there and tries to trade, I think Gimenez gets the better round of it.
Well, this is certainly better from Gimenez at times. Scoring right up the middle, picking his punches well and taking his opportunities, finding the openings on Wilson and scoring. Good jab though from Wilson, and misses wildly. Then he goes to the body well as Gimenez was trying to work over the top. There is no fatigue on Gimenez, that is for sure. He's right up on his toes, and he moves to his right as the Wilson corner enjoyed a little shot that got through there. They stand and trade for a moment again. And Gimenez does look good at times when they do that. Left hooks exchanged. Wilson trying to find him. It's a right hand over the top that gets through from Liam Wilson. So we will head into the final round of this one. But Ayrton Gimenez will take confidence out of what happened in round number 9. A solid round for the Argentinian.
I'm saying he has to.
He has to go for it. He's lost every round.
Should we make a bit of fun for it? Make a bit fun?
Keep doing what you fucking doing.
Stay off your double guard. That's all it is.
Touch gloves when you come out.
Yeah, stay off your double guard, Liam. Stay off your double guard. And it's not a hook. You're coming high on the hook. It's not here. Either there or it's under here. Okay? You don't have to do this either. It's not right hook, right under, left under. It's just a left by itself or left up here. Same as dib. Here, deep. And then
Benny, off this. Keep the lead hanger.
That's right. Touching that space. Touch that space. Touch that space.
Well, we head into the final round of this one. And no doubt that was a solid round for Ayrton Gimenez.
Touchdown.
So who knows what the judges are doing with this one. The Wilson camp very confident they are well clear, but you just never know because Ayrton Gimenez has shown a touch of class at times and he certainly had his moments. This one could well be close on the cards, or perhaps the Wilson camp are correct and they are well clear. What do you think?
No, definitely. I got to disagree with that. I don't think Wilson's won every round. I think you know it's a super close fight. Like I said, I'd hate to be a judge. I mean, I'm giving Wilson, you know, winning this fight, but Gimenez has had his moments and definitely I've given him rounds as well. So it's a super close fight. I've got Wilson up, you know, a couple of rounds, maybe 2 rounds, but it's definitely a lot closer than what people are thinking.
Does it help that Liam Wilson has been attacking more, going forward more? Is that perhaps what these judges are looking for?
Yeah, like I said, depending on what they're judging. I mean, I see that he's stayed in the centre of the ring. He's, you know, Wilson's been the bully. I mean, you know, Gimenez has done the slickness and dancing around in the counter fighting, but I feel like Wilson's been the, you know, the bully and pushing him out and landing those, you know, those cleaner shots.
So
but Gimenez has his time. He has his moments.
Yeah, and he did in round 9 as well. And he's coming on. He's trying to here in round 10, and he's fought in solid spirits at times also. So if we do last throughout this round, the scores will be interesting. Wilson certainly trying to press forward and score with something meaningful as he has done all night. Gimenez just uses the ring so well. Chopping shots there from Wilson. Gimenez to the body. Wilson tries to go to the body as well. There's a good shot from Gimenez. Good right hand. Wilson is right there, but he can't find him. There's a good right hand from Wilson, though. And another. And now he chases. Inside the final minute of this fight. Such an important one, too. Wilson just bangs the gloves together. Challenging Gimenez to come and meet him.
Gimenez is moving around like he's won the fight. I don't know, they must think something different to what we do. I mean, he's in the last minute you'd be trying to make a statement win or...
Body shot Wilson, and he's chasing now with desperation Liam Wilson. He really wants to score with something big, and he gets through with that left hook, but...
Stop!
Oh! What has happened here?
Get up! You, listen. Time.
Okay, frustration, no doubt. Let's listen to Phil Austin.
You keep your head to yourself. You do not throw him around. Do you understand me? You knock that off.
Okay, so
excuse me.
A warning on the head from Wilson. Gimenez went down hard.
Time in.
We'll have a look at that after this round is complete, but certainly some intensity at centre ring, and Gimenez claims victory, and he was moving around like he was confident, and they celebrate and they jump for joy. Well, these scores will be fascinating. No doubt people at home have differing views on what they just have seen, and certainly the two corners have very differing views. The Argentinians are celebrating like they've just produced a major upset, but we know in the corner of Liam Wilson and his trainer Ben Harrington, they were very confident they were well clear as well. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks, because it'll all be up to 3 judges who have watched a 10-round contest ringside. Who do you think, as we watch these highlights, is going to be victorious when Stephen Payos reads those scores?
Like I said, it was a very close fight. I mean, you know, they both had their moments. I thought, like I said, Liam Wilson, you know, pushed the fight pace and controlled, but they both had great moments. But the last round, Gimenez, I told you, was moving around like he'd won the fight, like he knew he'd won the fight. So it's interesting because depending on what the judges are judging, I mean, are they judging activity or dominance, or, you know, we'll find out in a couple of minutes.
We certainly will. It was a contrast of styles. We knew that Liam Wilson was going to have to cut off the ring on a man who moves all night in Ayrton Gimenez. And perhaps the scores will tell us how successful or otherwise he has been in doing so. Certainly, he didn't score with any of those trademark left hooks. Well, no real big ones anyway, despite scoring with plenty of individual shots. But we do go the distance in what is a very important fight for them both. The world number 4 and the world number 14, big things ahead for Liam Wilson if he gets the result here, but it could be life-changing if it does go to Ayrton Gimenez, who jumped for joy at the end of the 10 rounds. The man who knows it all is about to tell us all. It is Stephen Payos.
Ladies and gentlemen, centre ring after 10 magnificent rounds of boxing. We go to the judges' scorecards for the decision. Judge Phil Holliday scores the bout 98-92. Judge John Watson scores the bout 97-93. Judge Sabrina Kerr scores the bout 96-94. All 3 judges have this as a unanimous points decision victory, and it will go in favour of the man who also becomes the new WBO International Super Featherweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the corner of your winner is blue corner, Liam Mr. Damage